latest app that has caught fire with teens. It's called Snapchat. You know, the appeal is, it says you can share a snapshot with friends without any risk of an embarrassing viral moment.
A photo used to last forever, a frozen moment to others, a digital trophy to some. But in 2011, a 22-year-old Stanford dropout broke that illusion.
He had one idea.
If we take a step back and we look at what Snapchat is, it all starts with the camera. We have this really great, basically capture product.
What if nothing had to last? And that single idea would strike fear to the biggest tech company in the world, Facebook. 2011, Stanford University. Evan Spiegel, a design student and son of two wealthy lawyers, wasn't a coding prodigy nor trying to change the world and have a billion-dollar company. He was just a smooth talker and had more charm than coding skills who wanted to pass a class. In one product design course, the class was challenged to do a startup that people would use every day as their final assignment. Most students pitched apps mainly for shopping, online payments, and maintaining productivity. But Evan, he pitched an idea, something strange, an idea no one expected. In a world chasing digital permanence, he wanted to build an app where photos vanish in seconds. Even their professor, David Kelly, founder of IDEO, encouraged revision, thinking it would not work. However, one had a different perspective. Reggie Brown, a fellow Stanford student and frat brother, saw potential in what others saw as nonsense. And that's where everything began to unravel. That summer, in Pacific Palisades, where Evan's father's house was, the two boys, Evan and Reggie, together with another Stanford student who is a computer science major, Bobby Murphy, turned a class project into a prototype, calling it Peekaboo. July 2011. Peekaboo was launched on the App Store. Its core function was simple, almost too simple. Take a photo, send it to a friend. Then it vanishes in seconds. No archives, no likes. Just a raw, single moment, then gone. However, it was barely functional, rejected by investors, and nobody took it seriously. It even gets the wrong attention from media news outlets such as CNN, Time, and The Guardian that started calling it a sexting app, warning parents about it due to its feature that felt like digital mischief is waiting to happen. Even Apple was considering pulling it from the Apple Store due to the content concerns. Hence, it was the flop of their early version. But Evan saw something the others didn't. He believed that real communication is messy, raw, and temporary. Just like real life. With that belief, it became the foundation of Snapchat. By September, Reggie Brown, the co-founder who helped spark the original idea, was forced out by Spiegel and Murphy due to disagreement and legal disputes over equity, leading to a lawsuit that eventually settled for $157.5 million in 2014. And Peekaboo, dead and buried. But then came a reinvention. Spiegel and Murphy rebranded Peekaboo as Snapchat, a yellow ghost for a logo and snaps that disappear, rebuilding the entire app from scratch. With no marketing budget, a new name and a new identity became the beginning of a new era for the team. The app was relaunched quietly on the App Store in September 2011. This time, it had clarity and direction. By October 2011, in Southern California, Snapchat spread through high schools like wildfire, becoming a teenage obsession. It didn't stop there. Early 2012, the Kardashians, YouTubers, and TikTok predecessors are all in, snapping selfies with filters. It was rebellious, mysterious, addictive. Just like that, the ghost went viral, having over 100,000 daily active users without spending a dollar on marketing. And Facebook? They were silently and closely watching, waiting, plotting, and preparing for their next move. In 2012, Snapchat wasn't just trending. It had a viral explosion and dominated the charts, becoming #1 app in the App Store, hitting 1 billion snaps sent per day. Teenagers were hooked and couldn't stop snapping. It became a hype and addiction, with over 100 million snaps being sent per day. Spiegel dropped out of Stanford just a few credits away from graduating to focus full-time on Snapchat. And while everyone was enjoying it, a call came from the most powerful man in tech, Mark Zuckerberg. Evan was invited to a private meeting at Facebook's Menlo Park campus. He wasn't there to discuss partnership, but came with a buyout offer. $3 billion in cash. No pitch, negotiation, nor strings attached. Just sign and walk away rich beyond imagination. Most would have taken it right away. Yet, the 23-year-old, barely out of college, with no business degree, Evan didn't flinch nor blink and said no. Spiegel believed that Snapchat could be something more than what it is than its feature. What he didn't know was that by turning down Facebook, he wasn't just being bold. It was the start of a war. Rejection is not something that Facebook takes lightly. Hence, a silent war was declared. First came Poke, an app that sends photos, videos, and messages that disappear within seconds. A direct carbon copy of Snapchat. Yet it flopped due to its poor user retention and lack of authenticity, causing its disappearance from the App Store in 2014, marking the first victory of Snapchat against Facebook. A second attempt was made with Slingshot, having the same concept, but with a twist. You couldn't view messages unless you sent one back first. Slingshot tried to reinvent disappearing messages. Instead, it caused its own disappearance in 2015 due to its send-to-unlock mechanic that frustrated users. Another victory for Snapchat. Zuckerberg tried 3 more attempts between 2014 and 2016, which all of them failed. While Facebook was busy playing catch-up, Snapchat was more than a product. And no matter how many features Zuckerberg copied, he couldn't copy the vibe. Snapchat didn't slow down. It kept pushing, evolving, fast. New stories, filters, lenses. Not just features, a new visual language. The dog's face, the rainbow vomit, the flower crown. It was everywhere. Snapchat became a cultural force with celebrities, teenagers, brands dominating the platform. It became a digital stage where nothing lasted, but everything mattered. And then, in 2016, Snap rebranded itself. It became known as Snap Inc., not a social media company, but a camera company. November of 2016. Spectacles were launched via mysterious yellow vending machines called Snapbots, placed in random cities like LA, NYC, and Venice Beach, adding a Willy Wonka-style hype factor. They were camera glasses, straight out of a sci-fi daydream, wherein a built-in camera near the frame can record 10-second circular videos and sync it with the Snapchat app. This wasn't about filters anymore. It quietly redefined how we see the world through their lens and was Snap's bold declaration. We are not just an app. But every rocket hits turbulence. For Snap, it came from a familiar source, Facebook. August 2016. Instagram, now under Zuckerberg's empire, blatantly copied stories. Same concept, same function. Within a year, Instagram stories had 250 million daily users, overtaking Snap. Overnight, Snapchat's momentum slammed into a wall. Investors panicked. The press circled like vultures. Its stock price plummeted after its IPO. Critics declared death upon Snap. But Evan didn't fold nor pivot. With his team, he rebounded by redesigning the app for Android to accommodate various users, investing heavily in augmented reality AR, becoming a leading platform in Gen Z communication, developing AI features such as My AI and AR, shopping lenses. And slowly, the numbers made a comeback and started rising again. By 2024, Snap has clawed its way back, with over 800 million monthly active users. Snap's secret wasn't just disappearing messages. While most other platforms chased likes, followers, and fake perfection, Snapchat walked the other way. It was a quiet rebellion against the vanity metrics of social media. Where every post was filtered and judged, Snapchat emphasizes being real, stripping away the pressure. No public likes nor follower counts. No algorithm that decides your worth in life. No standards to be perfect and encourage authenticity. Just real moments between real friends and capture moments fast. That's what made it powerful. It wasn't about fame, chasing clout, nor building a brand. It was about connection. It was about being human. In a way, Snapchat reminds people that not everything has to be permanent and public, celebrating the messy, unfiltered, fleeting. Today, Evan Spiegel remains one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history. The kid who once pitched to a classroom that laughed and doubted him now runs Snapchat that's worth 10 of billions. Snapchat didn't just survive. It outlasted clones, turned losses into lessons, and redefined the world. Facebook, still chasing and still trying to capture what Snap had, a generation's need for something real. Because Snap wasn't just Facebook's nightmare. It was the future they never saw coming.